Hey guys, episode 10 of the Stocks and Shares ISA series. Flat this week, bit of an unusual week. Haven't really seen the volatility that a lot of other users have seen because I'm not really in the sort of American stocks, tech stocks and that sort of thing. So I think this Hargreaves is up £1,000 and Trading212's down £1,000. I've not added anything to either portfolio. Hoping to do so maybe in the next week or two. But yeah, so you can just see very small sort of gain on these two funds. Not too much really happened. So I'll go straight over to Trading212. And yeah, so down £1,000. Just sort of in general UK stocks really. Nothing sort of moved tremendously. It was the British shares have sort of mostly come down a little with the American market selling off, which does sort of create a little bit of a buying opportunity on some of these that are sort of were value buys anyway. And yeah, now they've sort of come down a little bit more. They look just a little bit better. Still trying to pick what I would invest in. Probably looking to add £500, maybe £750, sort of in the next week. Trying to sort of pick 2 or 3 companies to go for. Thinking maybe GlaxoSmithKline, Shell and Taylor Wimpey. Not looking to sort of add a new position. It was more just building up one of my existing positions. That'll have to be in the invest account, which I haven't changed. That's still £300. Just Kiers and the S&P gold producers. Nothing much in there really yet, so I'll show that as I start to build it up a little bit more. But yeah, so we've had some sort of fair moves down this week. Looking at GlaxoSmithKline because they've had a bit of a drop sort of over the last month where I last bought my shares. They're a bit down from there now, and now sort of at a 5.5% I think dividend yield, which is pretty good. So I'll be looking to probably put some money into them. Companies like IAG, British Airways, sort of real up and down, sort of doing share issues and, just more bad news about the airlines. So they're gonna be very volatile. Imperial Brands actually saw a little bit of a bump this week. Sort of other analysts and companies basically just coming out and sort of thinking that they're been a little bit too beaten down. Sort of profits still looking reasonable for the price that they were, so they've gone up a little, so I think I'll leave that alone. S&P gold producers is still sort of down quite a little bit from the last month, so I wouldn't be looking to sell out of this anytime soon. Same with my polymetal. Sort of coming down with the gold price, although polymetal is a bit more volatile. Hasn't done quite so bad. New River REIT is sort of coming down pretty much to my it's actually below my buy price, so that's interesting. I think they had some good news in August that sort of most of their tenants are now paying, but I think it's still in a lot of unprofitable industries, so they're still looking to sort of sell down assets and sort of reduce their portfolio. So it's not really a growth REIT, but if they can get a lot of their tenants paying and start to get paying sort of distributions, dividends, then I think this should rise, because they were sort of paying about 5p a quarter before. So, if they pay anything like that, then it's sort of 20% dividend, and that won't stay like that for very long. So not sure whether to add a little bit more into this. We'll see. Was considering Rio Tinto, because they're sort of come down a little below what I paid for them, and still a reasonable yield. So may sort of do a few more smaller investments rather than just 3 companies. But yeah, leave your thoughts by all means. And Shell is one of the sort of real low down sort of beaten stocks. Really, that'll probably be one of my investments in the next week. Still think they're going to be looking good. If they made a small cash profit last month. There was only a loss due to sort of one-time write-offs basically, and gold price has gone. The oil price, has gone up since last quarter, so they should be sort of making a small profit, or at least breaking even. They should be doing. They make a small profit on the oil, I guess, and they also do other products, other chemicals, and that sort of thing. I've actually just signed up with them for my home energy, so they're getting into that more now. So I think I'll go for that. Saga saw a little bit of a bump. I was thinking, this was very close to going bust. They've sort of done a share issue, but they're having a private investor, sort of the previous chairman, invest sort of a majority of the money. So they're not trying to raise this all from the public, and everybody's sort of seen that as quite positive. They can pay a lot of their debt off and hopefully sort of start to get back to normal as things start to open up. Really looking forward to sort of when they can start opening up their cruises again, and because they've got smaller boats, people are thinking that they'll be able to distance better, and they can sort of go back to what they were before. I mean, you've only got to look at the sort of longer term chart, and I'm not saying they're going to get anywhere back to that soon, but there's obviously, if they can get back to some sort of profitability, then they've got a good opportunity to rise a good amount. But I'm not going to add anything to that at the moment. And Taylor Wimpey was probably one of the others. It's come down a little. So I was quite happy sort of buying this at £1.20. It's come down a little bit since then. Housing market sort of going up to, again, sort of new highs in the last few weeks, which still baffles me really, but I think it's the stamp duty cut and just sort of general inflation, sort of money being thrown about, and maybe a bit of pent-up demand from the lockdown, but not 100% sure about house prices in the longer term. But again, this just seems sort of too cheap for Taylor Wimpey. I mean, they've been a lot higher. If they start paying their dividend again, they should be looking a lot better. So probably be something I'll invest in the next couple of weeks. So that's the update really. Again, sort of not too much move in the last week. Expecting sort of slightly more volatile moves over the next few weeks. But yeah, see what happens. Be an interesting video tomorrow on my Bitcoin and crypto portfolio. Seen a huge move down, sort of amplified by the gold moves and stock moves and that sort of thing. It's always very volatile, so yeah, look out for that tomorrow. And leave your thoughts and comments below on the stocks and shares if you're interested. And yeah, like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and see you soon.